Welcome back to Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
As the party ride out the night, Guitar Bard tends to the wounded while everyone else gets some rest. However, when Nashun sleeps, he gets another nightmare. In this nightmare, Nashun stands upon a black tile on a chess-like board, and ahead of him are French soldiers in the positions of pawns. When he looks around, he notices that he is placed in the position of king, with Ohm in the position of queen, and the rest of the party has various other pieces. When he looks back to the French soldiers, he can see above them is Moriko, and above him was Alistar, to which they start moving their corresponding pieces, as if everyone were just pieces to a game. As the game goes on, there's a standoff, with Ethaniel as one square in front of him are Ella and Monty. Monty's piece then moves over to where Ella's was, and her piece fades to dust. Off to the far right, Nashun sees Emmanuel, someone Nashun had piloted in a dream long ago. A few pieces begin to move in turns, but then Alistar moves Ethaniel's piece onto Monty, and Monty's piece fades into dust. At this, Moriko lashes out and grabs Ohm and Guitar Bard and places them in front of him, blocking his path. Then, Moriko looks at Nashun and says, "Your move, Alistar." Nashun then awakens from his nightmare. After Nashun stares at the ceiling of the carriage, Alistar says to him, "When you get the chance, find us a private place to talk. Things have changed." As the morning arises, Ethaniel joins Ohm at the front. As Bard wakes, he notices Nashun doesn't look too well and makes sure he's doing alright. Up at the front of the carriage, Ethaniel and Ohm talk for a bit, admiring the landscape and talking about how ever since meeting everyone, they've never felt so free. After some travel, Ohm and Ethaniel then see another carriage on the side of the road and decide to go up to it. At the carriage, they meet this muscular man that goes by the name of Dr. Hasseldorf von Luger. Hasseldorf then tells them that if they're willing to do some work for him, he'd be willing to pay them 10 gold bars and half his stock, to which Nashun was able to sweeten the deal and add one of Hasseldorf's prized cocks. Hasseldorf tells them to go to Sulphur Springs, where his stuff is, and they talk to someone named the Smile Maker to retrieve it and come back to him. As they hit the road, Ethaniel and Bard sit at the front, and Bard asks Ethaniel if he is truly okay with leaving his family behind, to which, with a bit of a sad expression, Ethaniel tells him that it'll be okay. As they ride, they see a campfire in the middle of the road with a man poorly dressed, to which Ethaniel stops the carriage and they sit with the man who is making coffee. They exchange names, and after some talking, Jack joins the party on their journey to Sulphur Springs, as both parties are heading there. Finally, they reach Sulphur Springs, and ahead of them is this yellow haze that has this smell so bad that Limewell is disgusted. The smell is seen to be coming from these large stones on the side. Once they arrive at the town square, the party makes their way to a nearby saloon, and they talk to the barkeep about the Smile Maker. The barkeep then tells them that he lives up on the mountain, and no one has ever seen him, but gives them his moonshine in secret and takes them to try it out. Once they reach the basement, everyone except the Bard tries out the moonshine, and the barkeep informs them that they should start finding the Smile Maker before the sheriff comes. As the party heads up the stairs, the doors of the saloon open, and standing is the sheriff. The sheriff asks them what their business here was, and to not say too long because of Heather. The party then makes their way to the mountain where the Smile Maker lives, and then when they get to the top, they see a small village in the clearing. In the village, there is a light fog, and on a porch nearby, Bard sees a tall and lanky man, wearing only overalls, and his eyes are milky white. Bard goes up to the man and introduces himself, with the man making the remark that Bard's name is that of the instrument. The Bard then tells the man that they were sent by Hasseldorf and were looking for the Smile Maker. The man opens the door to let them in. As they enter the building, they meet the Smile Maker, and he introduces them to the rest of the men inside. Ethaniel then compliments the Smile Maker on his moonshine. The Smile Maker decides to give them a demonstration of how they make the moonshine, and they toast to Hasseldorf and the moonshine. Nashun and Ethaniel start telling the Smile Maker that he should come to town and take down Heather. Smile Maker agrees and gets the men to start prepping for the journey, and Limewell begins to head into the shed where Hasseldorf's stock is and starts getting it ready. As Nashun looks out to the smaller mountain to the side, the one they were on, and the top is a house. Within the house, at a window, Nashun sees a pale woman in a light dress looking back at him. She then talks to him, despite being so far away, and says, "I know what you're doing, but you made one mistake. You shouldn't have drank that liquor. Now your friend on the dark side can't help you."